and the minutes do not reflect the 4 acres, so I would ask the board to, Commissioner Sampson, it was your motion, would you modify the minutes to read that the approval was, when the efforts were made to build an adult learning center, which included the 4 acres of property for location of learning center.
As I think about it, it might be better rather than go back and adjust this particular motion just to include it in today's agenda and specify.
I will do that. I'll take that and add it with the, if you'll make that a motion, I'll get a second.
Mr. Chairman, we are in
Commissioner,
discussion.
the floor is in Commissioner Sampson.
But we're in discussion, Mr. Chairman. We're in a discussion about this minute here. But how you gonna make another motion while we in discussion to put it on the agenda? How you gonna make that motion when we in discussion? That discussion over it, then you can go ahead on and put it on the agenda.
Correct. Thank you. We will make note that there is an omission of that, of this particular one. I think the minutes state what was discussed. It just did not get to the particulars of those 4 acres, and so, and any further omissions or errors noted in the minutes at this time. That is an omission that was not put there because the discussion showed that it was included in 4 acres. Anything else regarding that?
When are you going to make a motion to add it to the agenda?
Anything else because of the minutes, Commissioner?
Okay.
Hearing none, I call a question. Motion to the favor, let me number raise your right hand, please.
I oppose, Mr. Chairman.
Followed that is the minutes of the special call meeting on February 16, 2011. I have a motion to approve of these minutes.
So moved.
I have a second from Commissioner Epps. Any errors or omissions on these minutes?
I wasn't present at the hearing, Mr. Chairman, but I see here in paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4 where the question was asked if the USDA would require the individual well owner to seal and cap their well. They were told that their well could be used to water the grass and garden, but the hookup to the home would have to be provided by the county water and the house disconnection from their well. So what you're saying is that in this,
Commissioner Bryant, we're, as usual, astutely point out in the minutes, we were looking at the minutes, not the gist of it. Are the minutes accurate? And those that were there, I'm asking them,
Mr. Chairman, you asked for a question. Mr. Chairman, you asked for a question.
I asked the minutes are accurate, Commissioner. Are they accurate or are there any omissions?
Let me point out, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner, we're moving to approve the minutes. Thank you. Are the minutes are correct?
Could I get an answer?
I call the question, the motion. Those in favor, let me number. Raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Moving into accounts payable. Pages 1 through 7. Do I have a motion for approval of accounts payable?
I make a motion that we approve accounts payable in the amount of $121,094.25 according to state law.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Any discussion regarding those accounts payable?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to know, has we paid Mr. Jerry Peacock $400? I looked at the account payable and I looked at the check register, but I couldn't see that. And we do have a bill here in this office.
Mr. Administrator, has the bill been paid?
Yesterday.
Okay, yes. So she will be reflected on the following up of this. All right. Any other comment regarding accounts payable? Call the question, the motion. Those in favor, let me know. Raise your right hand, please.
Well, Mr. Chairman.
We have one requisition, to have a motion to accept the requisition.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Question regarding it? Hearing none, I call the question. Motion, those in favor, let me know, raise your right hand, please. With that, you have some financial information before you. Ms. Barton, I'll go ahead and let you go through your
Thank you,
review.
Mr. Chairman. I would first like to say that we've done a little bit more finessing of the numbers to reflect the accuracy that we're trying to achieve. If you look on your left-hand column, we have got a total of the offsets for both the EMA office that received a $24,000 grant, as well as the sheriff who has received a total of $84,526 in grants. The revised sheriff expenditures and the revised EMA expenditures reflects the deduction of the grants from the yearly total of the expenditures to give a more accurate reflection of those who are over and under. The total county expenditures as of the end of February amounts to $846,131. We're $180,000 under budget, which is extraordinarily good. On your account summary, you have an accounting of the various offices that we track. There are 2 overages, and this is after the grants have been accounted for. The first is in my own office, $14,386. The overage is primarily occurring because we have started the first of 3 payments back to Wilkinson County for the Highway 58 landfill in the amount of about $29,000. That was an unprogrammed expenditure based on the fact we have not received a bill from them in 3 years. The other one that is over is the sheriff's office. He's over about $40,861. That's a brief discussion relative to the finances of the county. I'm willing to entertain any questions.
Okay, thank you. Having the information before you, are there any questions of Mr. Barton on his numbers?
I would like to say this, Mr. Chairman. If I'm correct, I believe I heard him say we hadn't received a bill from Wilson County for the 57 landfill in 3 years. If I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Chairman, I believe the county manager over there faxed us a letter stating the fact that he had requested that money, but we never did pay him for over a year. I do have a copy of that letter. So the county manager here is putting out false information when he said that they hadn't sent us no bill in 3 years. I will bring that letter back that what the county manager from Wilson County faxed over here to me, and I brought it before this board. I believe it was something like maybe $84,000, something like this. It was some $1,000, $15,000 or $20,000, but he putting out false information. I would bring the letter and let you see the letter at the next meeting, Mr. Chairman, where Wilson County did request that form.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to respond to that.
Certainly.
There has never been any attempt during my entire 10 years of being here to avoid paying a bill. I want to make sure that the bills that are paid accurately and are due to be paid. In the assertion of Commissioner Bryant, we received a bill according to the county manager in 2008. We never received that bill. It never did arrive either on my desk or Garner's desk. But if it had, it would have been brought before the board and it would have been approved. Nothing came in 2009 until Commissioner Bryant so assiduously made sure that that Highway 57 was being repaid. We found out we had 3 years in arrears on that particular issue.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Mr. Chairman, let me say this here. Let me say this, Mr. Chairman. I tell you what, we can easily show the question about this here. All we have to do that, go there and make a phone call to the county manager at Wilson County. He can tell you when they something to build out. It's kind of behoove me that he gonna say that we didn't receive a bill when they sent the bill out. That kind of behoove me.
Mr. Bright, the merits of whether the bill was sent or not is beyond the pale. The bill is in hand, it's being paid. The obligation is there. We normally try to meet our obligations as they come before us. I have confidence that if it had been brought to this office, it would have been presented to the board. I appreciate the information.
But see, I know what was going on because we were having a budget crunch and we were holding our bill. That's why we didn't pay it. I would like to know how the splosh was increasing in fund. We got $365,204. Where do that increase come in that splosh fund when that splosh being down? We didn't have a $207,000.
Commissioner Brown, the issue of funds is important. The splosh funds are actually funds that we are to be the best stewards of because they're dedicated to one particular purposes. It's identified by resolution. The funds that are increased as we see them are the payback of funds used for the academy build-up, wherein we were using EDA monies, and it's a payback from EDA, I guess, part of it is a grant, which restores the fund through that. The legal implication of it, and I believe Mr. Richardson, from your knowledge of it, the expenditure of funds that we've done through the course of that action met the requirements.
A year ago.
Thank you.
Did you give us a letter stating to that fund?
Yeah.
I believe you looked at that $482,000.
Anything else regarding the
a quarter? That's what you looked at, Mr. Richardson.
Since we're on that, let me add,
That's what you
remind
look
me
at.
about Splash One and what that can be spent for, industrial development.
Yes, ma'am. Industrial development, we've talked about, we got approved by the public, fire trucks and water infrastructure. That's what we are able to spend that money on. We're not able to spend it on anything outside those areas. A rescue vehicle also, I'm sorry, I forgot about rescue vehicle.
It's, and of course, that's a resolution, and the year of it is
2003, I think.
2000, it goes quite a ways back. The funds have been very, very useful in accomplishing the effort to establish the industrial park and provide the fire truck equipment.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to take that opportunity also to remind the board that with this USDA loan that we're going to get for Dry Branch Water, we have to have in that fund $480,000 from the old SPLOST in order to be able to match the amount of money we're going to be getting from USDA for water and Dry Branch. So we're actually short about $100,000. We anticipate getting another reimbursement from EDA's grant to plus that up.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else regarding
What is the total amount now that we have in general fund? The amount that where we had accounts payable in $121,000, that's not included this in 1,003,64, is it?
Commissioner Bryant, the report is as of the 28th
That's today.
February, which is
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
The approval of the accounts payable was just today, so it would not be deducted off the 1.364 that you see there.
That's right. All right.
Thank you. The other information that, as you indicated, all through our efforts to document expenditures and the revenue and the expenditures as a department, I would like to commend the efforts that's been made by staff and our consultant. And I think you'll find that there's a tremendous amount of accuracy there. And as we said, that's one of the things that we're striving for, make sure that the accuracy is complete. And we'll continue to work toward that end. But all of it is there in terms of departments and by line item.